Hi guys, I'm back. It's been a couple of days since I've done a video, and then I felt, guided to do another one. And I have no idea why, because I've absolutely no idea what I'm going to talk about. There's just, I had a day yesterday that is just fucking hell beyond words. As we all know, the psychic attack has ramped up massively in the last year. For those of us who are genuinely sensitive and doing the work and going through this psychic delayering, we know that, we know it, we feel it, and it's like paint stripper, right? But after every layer removed, we see even more clearly the truth of this experience that we find ourselves in. And this is why it is so important to introspect, to do that inner work that I talk about in my last video. There's a passage in the Bible that talks very clearly about the fact that this is spiritual warfare, and that is really what it is, right? It's a spiritual war. It's not about picking up your AK-47 and going out there fighting the forces of evil. That is not how this works. I know very much from personal experience how to do battle, and it is not at all what we've been given to believe. We've been maneuvered and manipulated in every imaginable fucking way, and that's just the truth. It wants us to be full of hate and rage and vitriolic vengefulness. This is, if you look at the United States elections, you can see what that is and what that does. America has always interested me in a way of it's a very religious country, America. There's a lot of religion there. And very little, it seems to me, discernment. I'm not talking about all you American soul travelers here, because I know you have the spirit eyes, so you can see. The God of the Bible is just a violent, bloodthirsty, gaslighty entity. And then you go to all the other so-called religions, and include Hinduism in that. And one way or another, it always comes back to the same scenario. Ergo, you're bad, you're inherently bad, guilty, sinful, and you deserve to suffer. You deserve the misery, and this this is when you really understand intrinsically what that means and what that's done, when you have really introspected into that, excavated into that, you will feel that it's like a dirty, disgusting, evil energy. It is disease, decay. It is all that. It's absolutely disgusting, horrible, evil, filthy, disgusting energy. These entities parade themselves and pose on the external plane as Jehovah, the God of the Bible, or Allah, or all these different gods, all these different belief program traps, and it you know, even Buddhism, you know, you've only got to look at Tibet before the Chinese encroachment, and it was wrong, man. It was very, very wrong. They make it look as if it was just pure and good and true, and it really wasn't anything of the kind. It was feudalism. And when you look at the ritualistic nature, all of it is just whoa. And also, yeah, again, it's all, you have to eliminate all desire, and then you'll be happy. So one of the greatest desires that we have is to live. So should we all commit suicide then? Yeah, it's all wrong, you know, it really is. And yeah, within all these religions, there are nuggets of, you know, I call them pearls, nuggets that are worth, you know, because once upon a time, all these religions were something else. They were all combined, and it was a kind of, almost like a kind of Akashic record type thing, to help us remember. Because us, human, no, that's the wrong word. See, here I go again. Bloody hell. Souls, we have travelled through this experience called the fall, from very high up where we experience very, very, very minor duality, where evil did not encroach upon the land to the extent that it has now, in comparison to where we find ourselves now. That would have been paradise, but even there the infection had already begun. It's become so convoluted now that only those who are truly, deeply, completely committed to walk the narrow path can see the truth here and there and step out of it so that they can see the bigger picture. It's very important. Nothing is what it appears to be. When you go on YouTube nowadays, right, you click on YouTube, when you have spirit eyes, you see it all for what it is, and it literally is just there to gather loosh. Give me your attention, give me, it's all clickbaity, and it's all, I don't know if you've noticed all this stuff, all these many different videos about the chosen ones, and you know, all this kind of garbage. Lots of born again Christian type stuff, lots of that, and lots of about, you know, the judgment of God, and the putrid nature of it now. Oh, it shows me where we're at. It shows me where we are at. And it's what really annoys me, sorry, it sort of annoys me, but it's also quite interesting that there's a shitload of NPCs making videos about NPCs. I find that very interesting. You know, these people, and they are people with their button eyes. They have eyes like buttons. There's no life in them at all. It's weird that there was a video, I didn't really watch it. I felt like clicking on it, and I watched maybe 5 seconds of it, about a bunch of backpackers that were poisoned in Laos. and they showed an image of a girl supposedly died, and that was not a real person. This is just clearly some sort of robotic being, absolutely. But you can only see this when you have spirit eyes. It was completely fake. Everything we pretty much everything we see now is fake. And that leaves you with a very fugy, discombobulated feeling. Because you want answers, right? Because you think, well, what is this that I am finding myself in? This all really began nearly 5 years ago, in 2020, when the PSYOP began. That's when things began to get really strange and really bizarre. And that's just ramped up more and more and more and more. I mean, I was guided to watch an episode of a really old series from '97. It was Earth Final Conflict. You know, I'm into my sci-fi. Though increasingly there's so much I can't watch anymore because it's just toxic. And when something is full of subliminal stuff, I always know because I can feel it, and it's like, whoa, can't watch this. But yeah, it was a series by Gene Roddenberry, Earth Final Conflict, and I was guided to watch that. And it was like, I can see how the consciousness has evolved. The greater, you know, the consciousness. The consciousness of all the souled beings, including animals and nature and souled people, has been shifting exponentially. This began in the late 80s. And it has been churning and shifting and metamorphosing ever since, more and more and more. From there, and then I was watching a series called Invasion, which I think was done in 2020. And there's 2 seasons of it. They may do a third, they may cancel it. I've noticed this. This is another way of getting louche, where they create series after series, and some of these TV series are quite good. And they cancel them, and they cancel them, and they cancel them. I mean, every single... It's just because people get... I find this like I was watching Invasion. It's pretty good in so many ways, actually. I like the fact that different people from different racial... I hate that word... background, sort of like, how do you put that? People with darker skin and people with lighter skin, because I don't want to say black people, because black people aren't black and white people aren't white, which is a variety of different fucking colours, aren't we? Wish I had some colour. I am white. I've got, you know, like when I go in the sun, my upper body goes brown, but my legs don't for some reason, so I end up looking really strange, and it's just like blah. Anyway, but never mind that. But they all interact in a really natural, wholesome sort of way, and that is what I really, really like to see. It feels good and it feels right, because we are, you know, all souled beings, and whatever colour we are, or whether we come from this background or that background or that religion or blah, or whatever gender we are, whether we're gay or whether we're straight or whether we identify as a fucking banana, I don't know. But hey, you know, we're sort of in this together. I don't think people that identify as a banana are in it with us. Then again, hey. But it's sort of quite a good series in a way. And I was watching that and I was comparing that to Earth Final Conflict. And I can see how the consciousness has really changed. The consciousness is far more aware. The whole sort of artificial intelligence, which I always refer to as artificial stupidity, because it's really just it's not inventive. it takes that which is and changes it. That's all. Often not for the greater good. You know, but it's, I don't know, there's an expansion of possibilities, of creative possibilities in a way. It's not about the television series themselves, because that's totally irrelevant, right? Totally irrelevant. But I get messages about the consciousness and about the shifting and the expanding of it. The world we lived in say, the 1950s and 1960s was very, very small. You know, the amount of people that at that time were fringe, believed in little green men from Mars, and you were considered a fucking weirdo, right? We've left all that behind. I mean, we know that we're not living on a spinning ball floating through space, because no matter how you look at it, no matter, I mean, this is, to me, it's as simple as that. No matter how big a ball gets, upside down is upside down. So the Australians, from where I am, are walking around upside down. It's as simple as that. It's bullshit. The seas, how do they adhere to the curve? There's so many reasons. And this is just it. This is the mind control, that people just accept that. They just accept that. They don't think beyond that. They don't feel beyond that. And so when you get these so-called spiritual leaders and gurus, or you know, I don't know, there's just so many of them on YouTube, it's just incredible. The planet this and the planet that. And it's like, okay, so you don't even get the fact that cannot possibly be true, so I don't want to know. Anyway, I'm sort of just chatting away here. I just felt like doing that. The fight, the battle, lies within us, you know. I became very aware of that. This malevolent presence looming, and that was very much the case yesterday. The Punisher. How these people that I know, and I know their soul, but they cannot get out from under their Stockholm syndrome. These people that I know are sold, but are retracing their steps back to God, the Punisher. Fear. Yeah, it's always about fear. Fear is the greatest weapon it has. But it all started with guilt, with sin, this imposition that you are guilty and sinful, when in fact no, it's the other way around. Narcissists do that. I am beating you because you deserve it and you made me do it. It is your fault. That is why I'm abusing you. That is why I'm beating you. That is why I'm sticking a knife in you. Because you made me do it. Because you're bad. You see what I mean? It's that sort of thing. In the micro, in the macro, it is how it is. I spoke about that in my last video. Stockholm syndrome. The sheer terror that you experience, because all these bad things happen perennially here, right? One thing after another after another. The overwhelming sense of unsafety that you experience if you're aware of it. Because all souled beings experience that overwhelming sense of unsafety, but it is such a horrifying feeling. It makes you, it's that whole fight, flight, freeze mechanism within you, where you're constantly on the alert, constantly waiting for the shoe to drop. Because that is what this is, right? I mean, even people who have a lot of money, all of a sudden there you are, I'm sorry to tell you, says the oncologist, but you have bone cancer, right? No amount of money is going to sort that out. Or you have diabetes. That's a really nasty disease, diabetes, really bad shit. They've put all this into us, you know, make no mistake, there's absolutely no need for any of that to exist at all. This is the experience that is created by something malfunctioning within our consciousness, because that is what I experienced yesterday. Because that malevolent looming, hanging over us, peering into us, threatening us, crushing us, pushing us down, when you really pay careful attention, you feel it in here. And you feel how it's continuously changing. It becomes something else, then it becomes something else, and you know, if I had not had the childhood and subsequent life that I had, I don't think I would have come to this realization. I do not think that I would have had the impetus to see what I see. And that's sort of where gratitude comes in. You see, I am grateful. It's a paradoxical thing, because there is gratitude for the experiences, plural, that I have had, that are enabling me to see, to know, but at the same time, yeah, I'm still working through the rage, the victimhood energy, the martyr energy, the self-attack, self-hate, self-loathing energy. See? So that's it. It's a work in progress. Yesterday was really bad. And I mean, I've said that before. I've done videos in the past where I said, oh, yesterday was really bad, but this was way, 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 way worse than... It is a filthy, dirty, poisonous energy. But you'll get to a point where you have clarity on what love is. Love. Because there are two consciousnesses. There is the malfunctioning part of consciousness, which is this dirty, malevolent, internal presence that you dissociate from. So it must be something outside of you. You're a powerless victim, you're helpless, it's doing it to you. Which gives rise to this you wanna fight back, you want vengeance, you want that. But that is the exact same energy frequency of it, and so that feeds it. You learn by the by, yeah, to work through when this trauma sludge comes up from within you. That's the ancestral garbage, but also your own, from your own experiences. Ugh, yuck, horrifying. And you're in it. Sometimes you can't get out from under it, but you get through it. You purge it out. You know. But you see it. You see. This is almost like I said. You are your own flying monkey. You know. It's self-hate, self-loathing, self-attack. It's very ingrained. But it's this looming thing. And it's always busy gaslighting you and trying to hook you in. Oh, watch this, go there, do this. Stay trapped. Stay trapped. Go and fight them. Go and... I remember that song. I used to love Public Enemy. And they did this song and it was fight the power. Fight the power. Fight the power that be. You know, now that's a classic example. This is what it wants. It wants that. So, can't really listen to that anymore. Bit of a shame. Used to like Public Enemy. But you cannot fight evil with the very same toxic sludge energy that gave rise to it in the first place. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. You have to step out and observe. Love is it's clever, but it doesn't fight with brute force. It doesn't use violence. It doesn't need to. It's a smart sort of thing, but it's tough. Shit happens. Every single individual soul being I have ever known that has walked the true path of self-liberation and coming home to self, the magical true self, knows that there has to be an impetus, that something happens that brings it up. It just does. It brings up the toxic sludge. And also reveals to us more and more of truth. You know, and it's like, yeah, but so you see it, but if you can't do anything about it, then what's the point? But it's like an evil weed. You can remove the evil weed by plucking it out, but if the root is still there, it's going to fester, it's going to linger, and it cannot be that way, you see? Because this fucking abomination needs to fucking die. And now, I mean, evil cannot help itself. I was told this about a year and a half ago. Evil will be revealing itself, and it really is. It really is. All of a sudden, we get reports of the black-eyed people. I don't know how many of you have had experiences like that. Quite a long time ago, I think about 10 years ago, I was in a market in a place near here, and there was a guy and he was selling coconut oil and this, that and the other, you know, various products related to coconut. And he was there and he was talking to this woman, and I went up and they'd finished the conversation because they weren't speaking, but she was still standing there, and I just said to him, I said, oh, can I just ask you something? Now, I was with my friend. I did not see this myself, but my friend stood next to me. I asked my question, the guy said blah blah, I bought a jar of, I can't remember, and we left, and my friend said, you know what, that woman that was stood there? Yeah. I said, yeah. What? her eyes went black. This was quite a long time ago, and I did not have the wherewithal that I have today. And I said to him, well, what do you mean? He said, her eyes went black. She was looking at you as you were talking to the guy, and her eyes, including the whites of her eyes, went black. Completely black. And she exuded such abject hatred. I could feel it. It was like a force that almost pushed him back. Right? Now, sort of over the last year, there's a lot of reports coming in of people seeing the black-eyed people. I see people online that are supposedly real people, but I know they're not. They are that Laos incident with these backpackers. That woman was a robot, without any doubt. That was not a living human being. But I also see people that I know are not people. They're something else. I mean, everything is changing and shifting, and we are not in the same reality from one moment to the next. That I've noticed as well. I'm sure most of you are familiar with the so-called Mandela effect. Stupid name for it, but I call it the resetting or the shift. Because it's happening all the time. All the time. I'm sure you've noticed, right, when you are, say you're having, hello, come on then, there we go, yes sweetie, you okay? Oh, yeah, he is. Oh, oh, you want to go up there, do you? Do you want to go up on top of the wardrobe? You like it up there, don't you? You like the high places. Yeah? Yeah. Do you want me to put you up? Come on. Yeah, alright. Go on then. Oh, that kiss smelled bad. He used to sleep in there, so it smells like him. So you won't fancy that just yet, but I'll just leave it there for you. Okay? You know, I lost my track there a bit, but yeah, it is confusing. It's unsettling to be here now, right? And we're not here now because we're here now and then we're somewhere else and we're somewhere else and we're somewhere else. Some people refer to it as timelines, but of course that has fuck all to do with time. Time is something that we experience here in the prison, because that's what this is, a prison, and that's what time is all about. I don't think any of us can really imagine what life would be like without the time constriction we are subjected to here, as in, like, you know, oh, it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so forth and so on, and like we're heading towards fucking that time of year again where it's all that fucking garbage with, you know, Christmas and whatnot, and it's all just utter garbage. I just totally ignore it nowadays and find that a lot of people do. People have had enough, you know, believe me. I tune into the zeitgeist and people, more and more people are waking up, salt people are waking up. They've had enough. They've had enough. Isn't it? Yeah. The black-eyed people and the robots and the... I mean, I don't know how many versions there were of Biden. I don't know how many versions there are of the so-called King of England. He had that portrait done, and it just reminded me of the second Ghostbusters film, where it's this evil entity, this great big, you know, poster of him, and it's just like that. And I'm sure that it's all done on purpose because it's revealing itself, it's showing itself, because something else is guiding this. I feel that. See, this is, I guess this is maybe what I'm getting at. The hardest thing here for us, for me, is to choose to trust this guidance that I've gotten pretty much my whole life, but I have been incrementally become more and more and more and more aware of, in tune with, over the years. It was really tough when shit happens that cuts you to the core, and you think, hold on a fucking minute, and then you get back to this, oh, evil always wins, and it's all a sick evil game, and yeah, it's very hard. Because if consciousness chooses its preferred experience, then it has to be liberated from this sickness within it. And that, I feel, is what is happening. Now, I don't know what these black-eyed people are, but clearly they are harbingers of... I mean, when you have a spectrum between, say, good and evil, you're going to get expressions of pure evil, you're going to get expressions of pure good, and everything in between. You know, I mean, there's all kinds of weird shit going on. It is just... it's like tidal wave stuff where you're hit with it and you just So for me it's about trying to find my center, my still point, to find my still point, you know, what's going on here. Ooh. Hey, hold on. The light's changed. I don't know why that might be. Weird. Very strange. Do you see what I mean? It became very clear to me yesterday, because the fear, because there was stuff going on within my body that frightened me. Okay? It frightened me a lot. It terrorized me. And it serves as a kind of lure, almost like a carrot on a stick, to the darkness. Because the darkness sees that. It's weird, because you could say, well, the darkness created that, and in a way it did, but it's like a magnet to it, to start to terrorize you, to use it against you, and terrorize you, and crush you. Right? Crush. And I became acutely aware of the abject terror that it induces. And I understood that people will allow themselves therefore, to be subjugated by it and acquiesce with it on their knees, like the child with a narcissist parent looming over it, menacingly, inspiring great terror, because there's literally, you're with your back against the wall and there's no way out, and how the fuck are you going to live, feed yourself, roof over your head, if you resist them and say, no, I will not do what you want me to do. I will not take on this burden of filth that you want me to take on. That is something I will not do. And for most of us soul travelers, that is what we did. We resisted, we said no, and that is where the trouble really started, you see. I know it was for me. I could not acquiesce with it. I couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it. And my stepbrothers and stepsister just looked at me with disdain, saying, well, why don't you just do what she wants you to do, and then you'll be alright, Anne? And it's like, no. But inevitably, you do end up having to give in here and there in order just to, I don't know, get fed. So one way or another, you're in such a position that you do end up against self, split. And that's the whole name of the game. That's the whole name of the game. But most people don't even realise that they exist in a state of self-hate, and they don't understand, they don't know, they don't get it. But the terror is so overwhelming. Fight or flight or freeze, and so it's freeze for most people. It's freeze, and they exist in a frozen state and disassociate from that, and they will accept this life. They will accept it, you know. What is going on here? Like, really? Hello? Mad. They will accept old age. They will accept having to work for a living, paid to live. Whoever controls the money has you by the balls, absolutely, no doubt about that. Which is why it was invented in the first place. They accept the system in all its malevolent nuances, because and they will go along with it, and they will vote, and they will do this and they will do that, and they say, well, if you don't vote, you don't have a right to complain. They are mindlessly just they're part of it. I don't know, the whole kind of, you know, vaccination business. And we know what Rudolf Steiner said about that. Everything has changed very much in the last 4.5, nearly 5 years. It really, really has, in a big way, in a really big way. Everything has become stranger and more totally bizarre. It's like with the whole trail in the sky thing. I'm not going to call it the C word because, you know, I don't want to get a strike. But we all know what I'm talking about, right? Nobody can claim to know exactly what it's about. I don't care who you are or whatever. Nobody. It has ramped up to a massive degree, and it has an effect on our neural capacity, our cognitive capacity, our sleep. It's not, I don't want to fear anybody, because I do believe that we can transcend it, that everything is utilized, everything will be all right. But more than ever, it's very important to think about what kind of water are you drinking, what kind of food are you eating. Be aware. See? What do we engage with and interact with? Hygiene, you know. People, I mean, NPCs inevitably always feel cold. You get that metallic, cold feeling when you're dealing with a scripted entity, regardless of how real it might seem. Oh, it's got a sense of humour. Oh, it's quirky. Oh, it likes the same things that I like. Must be real. I'd like it to be real. Yeah, but it isn't. You get that metallic feeling, that cold feeling, whereas when you deal with a souled being, and you might not even like this particular being, you might not vibe with them, man. You might think, well, I don't really like you. Yet you get that warm resonance. It feels warm. Everything that is alive is warm feeling. It has a warm energy that you can receive, and that you can then reciprocate. I always have trouble with that word. Reciprocate back. It's a perpetual motion type of thing. With an NPC, you give, and it gets absorbed vampirically, and you don't get anything back. You see. Often enough, it's obviously only NPCs that are black-eyed people. Oh, I'm not really sure that I'm making any point in this video, you know. It's kind of just me rambling on about stuff. But I did have this experience yesterday of great clarity. And it was a clear choice. But the choice that... So there's this great, malevolent, malignant force of pure evil that masquerades as the God of the Bible, or the God of the Torah, of the God of the Quran, or the God of the one of the various gods of Hinduism. I think in Hinduism it's sort of more generalized because you have so many gods. But it's that whole karma thing, yeah? Very clever. Buddhism, eliminate all desire. I think that's a really bad idea. I think desire is a good thing. Kill your ego. Man, oh man. It masquerades, it changes, it metamorphosizes itself all the fucking time. And I've observed within myself, within my psyche, it is there. I can feel it there, churning. And now it's this. Now it's something else. Oh, it's something else again. Now it's that. And it's always there trying to mislead me, trying to lead me down the road I am not meant to go down. And it is a case of, I would say it's a case of mistaken identity. It's part of my consciousness, but it seems to have forgotten that. It feels itself to have been wronged in some way. It says now it's my time to shine. I don't want to be used as just a part of something else. I want power in my own right. And everything has gone, well, frankly, tits up ever since it decided that was its course. Because you cannot function that way, my darling. You can only function as part of the whole. And so that is a psychic healing that is happening within us, within me at any rate. I can only really speak for myself. A psychic healing. And to that end, everything on the external, in my experience, is happening. And I'm navigating it. And yesterday, that malevolence, that, oh God, I felt it. It was, the energy of it is so disgusting. It's like, ugh, like you've just been dragged through a sewer. And I was terrified. I was cowering. Because that is what it wants. And it creates, as within, so without. So it creates a reality. It has a massive influence on the creation of our experience, right? It doesn't have all the power, because it would be truly fucked. It would destroy everything. There would not be anything good left. But it has a great deal of fucking influence, and it has a shitload of leverage, because when you've really suffered, and when you really are suffering, it will point that out to you. It will say, look what I've done, look what I've done, there's nothing you can do, you're a worthless piece of shit, look, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Evil's all powerful. And don't you dare step into the light, don't you dare believe that you are a being of light. Don't you dare do anything that supports your true path and that is of love, because it will just betray you. And it's like, well, so do you see the illogicalness of it? There isn't really very little common sense going on there, because evil wants us to get hurt. It's forever trying to annihilate us, yet it does not seem to be able to kill us. You know, when I went through my breakdown, it was trying very hard to get me to kill myself. And I said, well, if you really want me dead, go ahead, fucking kill me, strike me dead, motherfucker. When you believe it has the power, you give it more power. See, that programming has to be neutralized. That's one of those things. The mechanism is, the biggest mechanism, the biggest ace that it holds is that if you step into your light, if you choose love and the path of love, you will be betrayed. You will find out that, oh, there is no light after all, it's all been a lie, and you will not be able to handle that. That's sort of the mechanism there, right? And it isn't true, but like I said, it has a shitload of leverage. So it's quite difficult. And it's that crossroads feeling. Again and again, a choice. But you learn from experience. You do learn from experience that it is right and good to choose your light. Light not being something out there that will come and save you, but light being something that you are intrinsically. Here, yes? And that we have kin, we have kindred. We may not see them, but they will communicate with you. They do this in different ways for different soul travelers, but they come to you. They do it with me all the time. And they don't tell you how to or where to or any of that. They don't do that. It's very hands off. You see, it's like a good mother does not do the walking for her toddler. Do you see what I mean? The toddler needs to learn to walk, and you will fall over and so forth and so on, and that's it. The false light, things like the Galactic Federation of Light or a certain orange man in America and that sort of shit, they always come to you and they say, oh, dear ones and loved ones and beloved ones, and this is what is going on and we're here to save you. And it's always very saccharine, you know, like sweetener, and it's fake and it's false and it's toxic and it's poison, because all the power lies within us. But we've not known that. And yeah, okay, so it always comes down to the choice. What do you choose? How do you fight? Because it is how you fight, what you fight and how you fight that matters. For we fight not the flesh. Well, I don't, but it's the principalities of, you know, it's a spiritual war, an energetic war. You know, these people that make this distinction between, oh, the material world and the spirit. No, there is no difference whatsoever. The only difference is the rate at which something vibrates. Ergo, this seems solid, but it isn't actually. It's not solid at all, it's an illusion. It's all a fucking illusion. I'm not keen on science, but quantum physics is interesting to me. It seems to, and I'm not saying that's true, but it sort of puts out there that nothing is solid at all and it's all an illusion. And I believe that to be absolutely the case, because I've seen things change and move right in front of my eyes. Yeah. It is a leap of faith, yeah. It's a gamble to to choose your light and to fight with light by stepping out of it and being in an observation mode without getting totally entangled and drawn into it. And get away from all the conspiracy theorists. Get away from all the fear porn. They're doing this and they're going to do that, because all of it is predictive programming. They're seeding your consciousness. You're allowing yourself to be polluted because you think with fear that, oh, I need to know what's going to happen. I need to know what they're going to do so that I can stop it. And you know very well you can't. Humanity is so fractured. People are not going to get together to fight the powers that be. That ain't going to happen. It's a consciousness thing. And it's not one size fits all, man. No. Have you ever noticed how you meet different versions of people? So you're there and you meet someone and you have this great conversation and you feel that warm life force, yeah? So you know you're dealing with a soul being. 3 months go by and you meet that same person and, oh, hi, hey, wow, and it's like, whoa, what the fuck? Metallic, cold, comes out with a load of absolute NPC garbage. You know you're dealing with an NPC because you're not in the same reality that you were when you met the soul version of said individual. That's it. It's what we laughingly refer to as reality is not at all what it appears to be, guys. Alright? And it sure as shit ain't anything like it was 5 years ago, 6 years ago. It's a very, 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 very different dog now. Very different. And it feels really fucking dark and evil and nasty, but I am telling you, I feel it. It's working itself out. The entanglement, the sickness that lies within our consciousness is slowly but surely healing. And it's gathering momentum. And it's choosing to be in awareness of that. If you can be, and we're all at different stages and whatnot, and that's fine. And this is just me talking about my process, really, you know, so that's good, because we all have our own way of doing stuff and seeing stuff and feeling stuff and choosing stuff and whatnot, you know, and that's it, no more, no less. It's tough to befriend all the different parts of yourself that have been your worst enemy. I know that much. Self-compassion. One of you left a fantastic comment and that really struck a note with me. Live here, live now. That your little niece smiled at you, little girl or toddler, and how it hurt you in your heart, because it reminded you of how cruel this world is to innocence and to purity. And it's true, and how you felt yourself to be that child. And yes, that's true. And that is what it is. That is self-compassion, to know that you are this innocent being. You are not sinful or guilty. You are pure and you are goodness. You are truth, you are courage, you are integrity, you are kindness and soft-heartedness. You are everything that is good and pure and true. Yes? And you deserve to thrive. You deserve the miraculousness, the goodness, the beauty, the belonging, the joy. But nobody can give that to you. No one can give that to us. Because dependency belongs to the dark side. In the light, all of that is inside of us, within us, and it may seem as if all is lost, and that's just weak, and it can't do anything. But it's not true. It's not how it is. The sickness needs to be rooted out completely and neutralized and alchemized, and brought back, that part of our consciousness to be brought back into wholeness. Pay attention and notice how the light assists you. It won't stop. It's not like, oh, everything is going to start working out and it's all going to be, hey ho, you know, zippity-doo-dah. No, it doesn't work like that. But we're getting there, and we will make it back home. As in, something. It is here. It is here. It's within us. And it says that the kingdom of God, the kingdom of the Great Mother is within us. The queendom of the Great Mother is within us and all around us. But it's for us to, you know, bring that forth again. And that is a responsibility, and that is a commitment. Because in the light, we are whole and we are power. And in the darkness, we are defenseless, dependent victims of an arbitrary psychopathic entity masquerading as all these different gods and goddesses. I mean, even paganism falls in that, you know, in that category. It really, really does. And you get these people and they think they're awake. I'm a pagan. So I'm like, oh, so you're on the way to your next human sacrifice, are you? Yeah. I mean, who knows, right? But really, it's all dogma, and it's like, no, I want to belong to the group because I'm safe there. Because being a true, authentic individual is really tough, and yet that is how you know the light. Have you ever noticed how in the darkness everybody wants to do the same? Everyone has the same butt ugly tattoos on their calves, right? Everybody does this. Everybody wants their Burberry bag or their coat, and everybody wants that, and everybody wants that car, and everybody wants, right? I mean, the sort of fad right now is let's not have any colour in our life, right? The magnolia craze. Everything is either black or grey or magnolia. There's all these different versions of magnolia as well, but they're all the same. Plastic grass, yeah, because I'm a nature lover, you see. Yeah. It's evil is always inauthentic. The light, on the other hand, is truly authentic, and that is how you know it is the light, because it is creation, and it is harmonious, and it is authentic, and it is alive. It is genuine and it's authentic. Think about that. Evil, inauthentic, follow the crowd, do what everybody else does, look what I've got, and it's all bullshit, right? Pay attention. Versus authenticity. Think about the music industry, guys. There's a case in point, right? Think about art. The light is idiosyncratic, it's weird, it's expressive, it's vibrant, and it tends to get scornful reactions from the Walking Dead, because they're frightened of it, because they're envious of it, because they want it but they can never have it because they're dead. See, so that's that. Yeah. So it's our choice